Greetings. Just a quick word here about something that's kind of been happening since Charlie Kirk was shot so visibly in front of the world. Whoever did that really knew what they were doing. Set off a great thing, distracting and powerful and whatever else it is. But there's a lot of talk about Christianity now. And a lot of people are just coming out and stating what they think and giving their testimonies and stuff like that. It's kind of a Christian revival, quote unquote, if you will. And that's kind of exciting. It's always a mixed bag, The personal testimony part, I think, is really powerful. And I think people just sharing their experiences and what they experience with their relationship with their creator, their maker, if they call it Jesus Christ, that's okay, and that's powerful, that's honest, that's true. And I think people saying things they actually believe, if they actually believe it, it's authentic, it's true, it's real, it has a potency that fake speech doesn't have. And unfortunately, a lot of people promoting secular one world government with no religiosity are very fake, and they have it like they're not, you can tell they don't really know, they're not really believing what they say. And so unlike some of these quote unquote Christians who really are believing, and therefore they have a certain appeal to them. But unfortunately, I think they're getting it wrong right now, this revival that's going on. And the problem is Christian nationalism, this wanting to conflate America. They just can't get over the idea that America is a new development in global mercantile slave-driven capitalism at the time, which also had some great ideas put in basically to protect the merchant class from the royalty class. And they, talking about liberty and freedom, these really important concepts. And they were motivated by their own religions. We're talking about our founding fathers now, founding fathers of the America. But one thing they weren't about was creating a theocratic fascist state. They were not trying to create a Christian state. They didn't think of America as some sort of promised holy land for them. And we shouldn't either, right? America is Nineveh. It's Babylon. It's not the Holy Land. It's never going to be the Holy Land. So this idea of just America and Christianity together, and Erica Kirk's speech was very emotional, very nice, but she ended up kind of by calling for this sort of Christian nationalism, and that's kind of the direction they're going. And it's not good. It needs to be personal. Your religion is between you and your God, and whoever around you wants to hear it. If you're an evangelical Christian, of course you're going to have to talk about it. You can't keep it to yourself. That's not what evangelism is all about. Evangelism is about sharing the good news. It's called the good news, the gospel, because you're going to share it. People are going to get into it. But anyway, it's to be done when people ask, seek, and knock for that wisdom. And it could be, anybody in your neighborhood who sees you have some kind of wisdom or peace of mind or blessed assurance inside of you, and they want to learn about it. And that's when you tell them about Jesus. And be ready to tell them about Jesus and to pray with them. But in terms of what happens to America, What happens to Babylon? What happens to Sodom and Gomorrah? What happens to Nineveh? Nineveh might be saved, but not as some sort of reflection of God or some sort of, glory of God. The state of Babylon is some God's glory. That's not it. America is not that, right? It's a great place, and if we fight for our rights here to be Christians, or to be Buddhist, or to be nature-loving, whatever, we have that right here in America because people fought for it, because there is a separation of church and state. Strict separation of church and state. So that's what you promote publicly. That's what you promote for the community at large. Secular democracy. It's got to be secular democracy that guarantees rights for all. It can't be a Jewish ethno-state in former Palestine, Israel. Can't be that. Can't be some sort of Christian Zionist state here in America. Can't be that. That's wrong. So we are the salt of the earth. You are a beautiful message of peace, one that's not really going to be embraced by the world at large. The world at large is going to be self-serving, evil, militaristic, short-sighted, grubby, not Christian. Don't try to conflate the two. Don't try to mix them up. They don't go together. Your faith is your faith. You pray. You keep it to yourself. I mean, you share as you want to. Share as the Holy Spirit moves you to share. But not on some sort of formalized Christian nationalism. It's just not right. They're off. The Charlie Kirk people. They don't have Christianity right. Christianity was a rebel movement. Rebel Jews fighting Roman occupation and fighting higher class Jews than them that were sycophantic to that occupation. And so that's what ended up killing them. Jesus was actually crucified. And Christians have since gotten so many things wrong. As it boomed, then the religion went actually in diaspora. Was there ever a really Christian nation out there? Actually, the answer is no. As soon after 70 AD, the Christians found themselves, and before 70 AD, the Christians found themselves living in diaspora. They were hiding in Rome and Corinth and Galatia, and Paul was writing them letters. And that was the early church. They didn't have a nation. They didn't have a place. They didn't have maybe the cross as a symbol. They didn't have Mother Mary. They didn't have a Catholic establishment that they, a pope. They didn't have anything like that. And we need to be more like that. Spread out, facing what we really are, humble, converting people on a one-on-one basis, word of mouth, right? Not Christian nationalism. It's not meant for everybody. We are the salt of the earth. It's a narrow path to be able to love your enemy, to be able to understand nuance, to be able to be informed, be open to the input of the Holy Spirit. This is something that takes prayer on a daily basis. And again, don't conflate it with the whole country. Don't quit trying to do that. It's not, what other people do might be evil, and you can speak out about that. Speak out about abortion if that's your issue, if that's your thing. But just do it when you're entering the secular realm. You have to make moral arguments that appeal to the masses at large. You can't say abortion's wrong because it says so in, Galatians 5:17, No. You have to make a secular argument for it out in the real world. These arguments can be informed by your religion, and certainly they probably are, but they kind of have to be kept separate. You can't be using the language of your specific religion when you're out in the public arena. And then when you're in private, pray about it. I don't believe in abortion. Don't have one. Don't let people you love have them. Let them, but try to argue against it. Tell them how destructive it is. Whatever your feeling is, go about it that way. If someone wants to be transgender or gay or something like that, don't be offended by that. You don't have anything to say about that. You're just a Christian. You're another person just like them. Right? Don't have any judgments for them. Just have love for them, compassion, pray for them. That's the Christian way. You're not going to try to condemn them. You're not going to try to take away their rights. You're not going to try to say they're an abomination. Especially if they're not a Christian like you. They never claim to have those standards. They never claim to represent that. So they can do whatever they want with their sexuality. Don't worry about it. Don't be triggered by it. Just do you. You do you. You let them be them. Christians really need to learn that now. A lot of this red where they're getting angry since Charlie Kirk got shot, and then, so visibly in front of all of us, it really triggered them. And I just hope that it can be it can turn to positive. So keep the message focused on positive. Keep it focused on what you do. Your spirituality is between you and your maker. It's not for the whole country. All right?